been about a year since we last visited this cabin, and while our lives are constantly changing, this place stays essentially the same. I'm here with my dog at our tiny A-frame cabin, prepping the place for winter and just enjoying a cold night out in the woods. So grab yourself a chair and pull it up to the fire, because this is Tiny Cabin Life. It's late November here in central Minnesota, and while the temperatures have been consistently colder, we still haven't received any significant snowfall. And I figured that before we do, I better pay a visit to our A-frame cabin and make sure everything is ready for the winter. Well, it feels really good to be back at the tiny A-frame here. I haven't spent a night down here in probably 9 or 10 months. It's been a very, very long time. And the reason for that is that this place is really at its best in the fall or the winter. Because it's just like a cozy space. It's not the best during the summer months, especially because it turns into a jungle down here. It's very humid. And so, you know, I kind of take the spring and summer off from this place, but it feels good to be back, and it's going to be a really nice day here. I do have some plans for the day. We're going to definitely get out and cut some wood and split it to replenish our stack going into the winter, and Ellie and I will be spending the night down here.
Well, I've got a nice little breakfast burrito here. Inside we've got eggs, of course. There's sauteed onions and peppers, a little bit of bacon, and hot sauce. It's gonna be great. It's just terrific. I love having the veggies sauteed this time. It's a nice little change up.
After enjoying a very late breakfast, I figured it was time we get outside and get some work done around the cabin.
So as you can see, you know, we could stand to essentially refill half of our wood pile here. To give you a sense of what we're looking at, this is some really old wood that has been sitting for a very, very long time. That stuff is more than dry and ready to go. However, this stuff over here was the new stuff that we cut maybe last December, something like that. This is also dried out now and ready to go. So what I think I want to do today is add some over to this side of the pile, and then we can burn this wood over here in the meantime, and then let this side season for about a year. Now, if you take a look at our wood pile here, you will notice that there is mouse scat everywhere, especially down here on the lower platform, but also up on the wood and then in every nook and cranny. And the reason for that is these wood piles essentially turn into mouse hotels. There are so many places for them to hide from the elements. Now, I actually love seeing this because it means that the mice are hanging out here instead of in the cabin. From what I can tell, there's no signs of mice inside there, and so if they want to use this wood pile, and heck, even the chest over there, they can go right ahead, as long as it keeps them out of our space. All right, so the plan here is going to be to continue to whittle away at that big pile of wood. Those logs were gathered from a tree that came down about 1.5 years ago. And so we'll take some more wood from there and add it to our pile and be good. We'll have some more wood.
All right, so real quick, I wanted to let you guys know that we've got some big plans coming up in the next couple weeks. We are heading out on our very first tropical adventure for this channel, and we're staying in one of the most unique cabins that we've ever stayed in before. We are headed down to the Florida Keys to stay in a floating cabin, literally floating in the middle of the ocean.
And to get ready for this trip, I knew I needed some new luggage, and that's where NOBL came in. You guys know me, I travel with either a backpack or a duffel bag, and I was getting so tired of watching my luggage just get chewed up and destroyed on every trip. NOBL Travel builds zipperless anti-theft luggage for modern travelers who just want some peace of mind. This bag right here eliminates all of the things that you don't like about your normal luggage. There are no zippers, there are no cheap locks to deal with. It's sturdy, it's secure, and it has so many features that are incredibly convenient. It's got a tamper-resistant closure that shuts like a safe door. You hear the click and you know it's secure. It's also got an integrated lock built in, so you've got everything you need. Let me show you some of the bonus features here. First off, take a look at this cup holder. I'm constantly dehydrated when I'm at the airport, but I've got no excuse anymore because my water bottle travels with me. It also has this front laptop pouch, which will really protect my computer. And probably my favorite feature is the built-in phone charger. Take a look at this. There's a little power bank inside the bag here, and when you plug in your phone to this outside port, you're charging. There's also a phone holder, and it's worth mentioning that they have a lifetime warranty as well. I'm so excited for our trip to the Florida Keys, and now with this upgraded luggage, I'm ready to go. So if you want to check out this bag for yourself, or maybe give it to somebody this holiday season, you can follow the link in the description of this video. They've got a great Black Friday and Cyber Monday sale coming up, so it's definitely worth checking out. And with that, I want to thank NOBL for sponsoring this video.
After a short nap inside the cabin, I decided to come outside and have a little campfire.
So I'm going to be using just a couple pieces from our wood pile here to get our campfire going. Unfortunately, I think somebody stole my hatchet, which I would use to do this. So I'm going to have to use a splitting maul to prepare kindling, which is kind of crazy. Well, this is easily the best fire that we've had in a very long time. There's just such an abundance of wood down here. Everything from the little twigs that get it going to these larger chunks, which I stole once again from our pile over there. You know, wood is one of those resources that can feel so scarce at times because it's either wet or, you know, maybe I don't have a saw or whatever. And so it feels pretty good to have such an overwhelming supply down here.
Now that the sun is down, we're officially going to be inside for the rest of the night, and I figured it was time to get some dinner going.
Dear God, thank you for this time to be down in the woods. Bless this food. Amen. Well, I've got some pulled pork sandwiches here, barbecue style. Very simple meal, as always. I just heated it up in the pan over there. But it's going to be really, really good and filling, so I'm very excited. That is so good. There is so much flavor packed into this thing. It's really, really hitting the spot. This is easily our coziest cabin. It just seems to have a magic to it, you know, like everything is in its place and it's perfect. The wood stove is just great, and I love how it's the centerpiece of the cabin. And of course, when you get all the candles going, this place just lights up. Well, I think I'm just gonna take this in for a little bit longer and try to get some rest. We'll see you guys first thing in the morning. Good night.
Good morning, everybody. I slept really, really well. I think mainly because of how chilly it is in here. It's very cozy in bed, but I can tell the cabin is pretty cold. So we're going to have to get a little fire going. So this thermometer up here says we're almost at 50 degrees in here. That's still cold. However, this one's saying 41. The top number there is the humidity. So either way, it's very, very cold. We better get a fire going. Well, guys, just like that, it says it's 91 degrees Fahrenheit. That one's wrong. That's because of the coffee boiling. This one over here shows that it's almost 70. So as you can see, this space heats up incredibly fast. That's the beauty of the tiny cabin. Feels much better in here now.
right, guys, that's going to do it for this one. Thank you so much for coming along. I know I don't come down to this cabin as much as I used to, and that's mainly because there's just not a ton to do and film, but it's so great to make a trip down here every now and then and tidy up the place and really just sink in and appreciate how beautiful this forest truly is. I am looking forward to more trips to this cabin now that we're in the winter season, especially if we get a snowstorm. Those are always the best down here, so you can definitely look forward to more. Coming up next week, we've got an awesome adventure to the Porcupine Mountains on the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. We're going to be staying at this incredible backcountry cabin right on the shoreline of the Great Lake, and it's going to be an awesome trip, so make sure you come back for that one. And then, of course, a week after that, we'll be in the Florida Keys going on a tropical adventure before coming back and really bracing for some hardcore winter adventures. As always, I want to thank our patrons for your support. You guys mean the world to us. But again, to all of you who watch these videos, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, thank you. You're the reason we get to do this on a weekly basis, and I'm so incredibly grateful for that. But for now, it's time to get back home and see the girls. We'll see you next week. God bless.